Thank you all for coming. My name is Jacob Falkenberg, and I am the Communications and Member Services Director at Venture Portland. This is our fourth panel discussion that we've done. We've kind of transitioned our normal trainings, which are done in person, to these Zoom chats. So yeah, thanks for taking the time today. In case you don't know, Venture Portland is the support system for Portland's 50 neighborhood business districts. We do training, technical assistance, grants, marketing for those districts. So we are in a very different time now. The way we're promoting our member businesses, things that have worked in the past aren't possible anymore. This time of year, we would start getting into the street fairs and your walking maps and a lot of things that are meant to engage customers and attract them to physically come to your districts. But we can't do that right now. So a lot of districts have had to get creative and pivot with the ways that they are getting the word out, because a lot of businesses are still technically open. You can't physically go there, but they are offering pickup, delivery, mail order, whatever it might be, in order to keep generating at least small amounts of revenue. So our job as district associations is to make sure people know that those businesses are open and operating, and support them in this time of great need. So to kind of help us all brainstorm and get the juices flowing and the ideas going, I've invited a couple of panelists from a couple of different business districts to talk about what their districts are doing, because I think that they've gotten creative and they were nimble, and they are able to support their members in a very difficult time. So I'd like to introduce our panelists. First one, Liz Smith. Liz is the president of the St. John's Boosters and owner of Busy Lizzie Social Media Marketing. So hey, Liz.
Hey, how's everybody today? Whatever day it is today.
Doing okay, hanging in there.
Day. I'm good over here in St. John's.
Good. Our other panelist, Erin Primrose, president of Multnomah Village Business Association and principal broker at Living Room Realty. Welcome, Erin.
Hi there. How's everyone doing today? Good to see your faces.
Doing well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. I know everybody is really busy, so it's great you could all be here. So let's start off with Liz, if you wouldn't mind talking about some of the strategies that St. John's has taken on. You guys are really kind of far flung in North Portland, and you've got a lot of really small, mom and pop type businesses. Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the struggles that they're facing and some of the ways that the boosters have kind of adapted to kind of help them out?
So right before COVID-19 hit, we were facing a little bit of a struggle with some legacy businesses moving out and some empty storefronts. So it's like, oh my gosh, now I'm thinking back to the time when it was just empty storefronts that was our issue. And it seems like, wow, it wasn't quite as bad as I thought. So of course, going into COVID-19, it was super serious with the businesses that were remaining to hopefully help them keep in business. What we started doing initially was on Instagram, started sharing their various posts as things were changing, like we're going to be closed but open these hours, we're going to be curbside pickup, we're going to be delivery. But as things changed, that was almost too much to keep posting to the social media. So one of our volunteers actually came up with the idea of doing an Excel spreadsheet type list to list who was open, what their criteria were for being open, what services they were using for delivery, for example, and what their contact information was, all in one spot. And as this was all going on, we have a community group page that's like 16,000 people, where I think every day someone was asking who's open, where can I get food, or, where can I still buy gifts or plants or whatever it is. And we would just put the links of the list on there. So that list gets updated every single day, and it's done with 3 categories, which are shopping, food and beverage, and services, which is morphed into like classes, like online classes, because that's our 3rd category for us. So we put this out on all of the social media. We put a link right on our front page of our website that you could click on immediately to go to that list. We just asked the community to help us keep updating so that we could keep up with it and make sure it was current. And through that, we kind of, oh yeah, this is great, Jacob, if you have it. So that top graphic at the top of the page, if you go to the rectangular graphic, if you click on that, that goes right to the list. So we wanted to make it super easy for people to find. And so you can see there's restaurants and food, services and stores. It takes a minute to load. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so you can kind of see, you can just go, by the business, see who's open, like what they're open for. And what was really neat was that one of the reporters from the St. John's Review, which is our local paper, took our current listing for that day and printed it out in one long list and printed it in the paper. So they were, it was used in different types of channels for sharing. Yeah. And it has a clickable link and all that stuff. So if you go back to the St. John's Boosters page, which you actually, now you're in a whole different thing. You have to go back to like put it in the URL. Yeah. So that was the first thing we did. Through this, we realized that a lot of the businesses did not have social media, or they didn't have a website, or they just weren't prepared for any online selling at all. So we created what we were calling the virtual marketing team. So if you scroll down past St. John's Together, yeah, right there. So we put the virtual marketing squad together, and basically it's a group of 5 consultants, a website person, a photography person, videography person, and 2 social media people. And the virtual marketing squad is really a group to help people get online. Just have like a consultation where it's like, okay, you need help building your website, or you need help getting on Instagram and understanding how Instagram works, how to do videos, that kind of thing. And we did it in English and Spanish, which was really the first time we'd done anything like that. We wanted to make sure that we weren't leaving anyone out. And it's interesting, we had to pivot from being a very member-driven organization as far as services to an completely everyone, including everyone. It just, we didn't have time to be a business association that was like, oh, we just do this for members. It was really, we're an entire community. So we've been able to help quite a few people with the virtual marketing squad. And sometimes
are they doing discounted services? These are professionals.
We're just volunteering.
They're offering their services for free.
Yeah, and we're not like creating a website for people. We are more being like, okay, they just started setting up their website on Squarespace or whatever it is, and we're helping them work through it. Or it's like, I can tell you how to set up Instagram and what kind of posts work. Yeah, we're just volunteering. I mean, this was just community members who wanted to help, basically.
That's great.
Yeah, so yeah, that was good. And it was really eye-opening to see like who was ready for this and who wasn't, but we wanted everybody to have an equal chance, if they could. And then through that whole philosophy of helping everybody, we expanded that even further into another campaign that we're calling St. John's Together. And that's the one that's right above that. So that's a graphic.
I love the graphic.
Isn't it so good? Our intern from Wayfinding Academy, Carl Hayes, did that graphic. And we just love it so much. And it's about, even farther reaching than just our businesses and our business community. We're all in this together. It's remembering that shop owner is also your neighbor, and check on your neighbors and help people. And, we'll find strength in this unity during this situation, just really bringing St. John's together. We also love the little graphic of the heart with the little strong arms so much.
Oh yeah.
That we created a black and white graphic because we thought, well, kids can color that and put it in the window, or they can do like a chalk drawing, like St. John Swap and Play did chalk drawings in front of their business with a little heart and the little strength. So that was very well received. And, it was just that feel good thing on both sides, both letting the stores know we haven't forgotten about them. we care about them, we will support them, and just also letting the whole community know that we're united in this. So yeah, and I just absolutely love the graphic. Our graphics really also sort of morphed to a more, a brighter style, a little bit less serious style than we'd been in the past. And I really like that vibe for this time period. Just, just positivity and visibility and all that kind of stuff.
Now, did you also, it looks like there's a poster here that people can
Yeah.
print out and hang in their window. And
Yeah. So we included a graphic for a poster in case, because some of the stores are closed, and they have old graphics of events that were canceled, which is a really sad thing when you're walking by to see a closed store with canceled events in the window. So we thought, well, maybe if they put this in their window, something active and current and positive, just a reminder, as you're walking by, yeah, we're all still here.
That's great. Yeah. And I think the hashtag really encourages people to share on their own personal social media channels. I noticed you've been super active on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
Have you noticed people have been engaging with that a little bit?
Oh my gosh, our engagement has gone up so much. We went from getting, like 5 or 6 likes, sometimes getting like 72. That's a big difference. And it's something as simple as sharing from a business or, just a positive saying. So definitely seen an increase. And it feels good too to share all that out. And again, include everyone and see what fascinating solutions people are coming up with.
Yeah, that's great. I love this, kind of 3-pronged approach you're taking to not only, share content on social media, but also for those who don't have social media or who don't have a website, making sure that they can get one. So then
Right.
you can share it. So really trying to level the field where everybody can kind of get involved and get that promotion, because that's really the biggest thing, that the business association can offer to them right now.
And we also realize that not everyone who's a community member is on social media. So what Calvin and I have been working on, mostly Calvin, is doing a mailer that's going to get all this information into people's homes directly too. Because sometimes people aren't on social media either because they don't have it or because it's super stressful. So we want to make sure that they are able to have access to the information in a different way.
So that's a great idea. Yeah. For folks who aren't online, is this going to be a mailer that every resident in the district will receive?
Yeah, that's our plan. We might do 2 mailings, but it's intended to go out to just, people who live in the district.
For those of you who don't know, this is called Every Door Direct Mail. This is a service that the post office offers, and you can select specific routes within zip codes where you can have something like a mailer delivered to every house or every resident along that route. So they have an interactive map you can click on. So if you are looking for people to get, in the surrounding residences around your district, it's really easy to do. And it's actually, they give you a discounted rate on the postage, so you don't actually have to pay the 50 cents per piece or whatever it is. It actually ends up being pretty affordable. So I think this is great. Making sure that you can reach people. So you're just going to be kind of including the content that's currently on the website,
Yep.
but just creating a paper version of that.
And the St. John's Together campaign too, because we just really like the positivity of that campaign. And we thought that tied in nicely, like a listing that's practical and that you can use, but also the St. John's Together somehow worked in there just as our message of unity during this time.
That's great. You are all doing it the way it needs to be done. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and see if
Calvin can remind me if I forgot anything.
Calvin, anything you want to chime in on about the efforts that St. John's have been doing?
Yeah, I would just ditto that, that COVID-19 kind of resource business brochure that we're going to send out is going to be a living document that we do revisit, I think, as time goes on. We're seeing on May 1st that a lot of the restaurants especially are starting to get in the regular cycle of what their business is actually going to look like. And then with the idea that maybe we do another drop when things open up a little bit more, and do another mailing when they open up a little further than that, especially because we've seen that it looks like we're not going to get one big reopening at once. We're going to get these kind of staggered phases where different kinds of businesses can resume normal activities at different points.
Yeah, that's right. And then there's also a smaller group of businesses that's put together a St. John's, Oregon website, and it's at one place where you can see a bunch of different items from different stores and possibly bundle them together and send them as a gift. So that's a work in progress, but we're not trying to solve everyone's problems. We can't do everything, but we'll fully support and help them market out that program. If people have other similar programs, we can at least help share it. And we also, I forgot to say this, we also created, it was actually after hearing Aaron talk about it, we created a St. John's Business Owners Forum for anybody, not just members, so that there could be discussion back and forth. And that was a very good suggestion.
Yeah, that's great. Keep the communication open between the business owners.
Yep.
That's kind of the main thing is helping them make those connections, sharing resources,
right,
and helping each other out.
And your resource page, Venture Portland's resource page, has been great too. That's just it's updated. We don't have to duplicate the efforts. We just share where the information is.
Yeah, we are constantly updating that page, not only with what the districts are doing, but as new resources come in from local, state, and national organizations for businesses. So make sure you're sharing that link as well. I'll put that in the chat. I want to move us along to Multnomah Village now. We're going to leave some time at the end for questions for our panelists and for anybody else who wants to share what they're doing. But I wanted to talk to Aaron about Multnomah Village, Save Our Shops. This has been a really cool thing to see. You want to tell us a little bit about how this came about?
Yeah, so can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
I apologize, the sun is out in full force, so I'm glowing, not usually.
Great. Soak it up while you can.
Yeah, I got my spot. I'm so grateful because I put out the call for help. I know all of us, most of us are volunteers, and we can't be like the sole savior of the entire district. And so thankfully I put out a call for help of brainstorming a campaign that was going to be, a good way of getting exposure to the businesses that have done such a great job of evolving by day. I mean, it's been literally people that didn't have a website fully going on and having online to where they're competing with the Amazons of the world now. So wanted to have a platform where we could get not just exposure, but also, the services that are being offered by our business community out to the neighborhood, right? Because the two have to kind of go together. And thankfully, our secretary of our board stepped up. She's amazing. She created this one sheet, actually it was 3 sheets, but a 1 sheet of ideas of a brainstorm of this campaign. And for the most part, 100% of it was on par. So her name is Jackie Craybill. She's with Northwest Wools, if anybody's a knitter out there. And she's been super amazing at kind of taking the lead at creating this effort. And so essentially what it is we have a social media campaign that we choose 6 businesses. Obviously, we put a call out to all of the businesses, offering this as an opportunity that doesn't cost anything to them. And each week we feature 6 businesses where we give away a $50 gift card to that business to someone who there's basically the Facebook users or the Instagram users are commenting on these posts, basically a wall of love for each of the businesses that are featured. And we choose 1 comment from there to award the $50 gift certificate. So it's actually been amazing. It's been a great tool to be able to have exposure, not just on our Facebook page, but a lot of the people who are participating or sharing it And then of course, when they're commenting, it gets that extra exposure. So I think so far, and we're going into week 4, we are up to over 20,000 views. We are boosting this as well. So we're up to 20,000 views. And so far we've had, I think it's like 310 comments total, showing their love for the businesses and how they are, what type of services that they're enjoying, or what they miss, or, you know, a dish that they just got from them that they love, or what have you. So it's been really fun to see that. It's been a huge, yeah, there we go.
So this is the Multnomah Village Facebook page, and this is week 3. So, you know, these things take a couple weeks to catch on. Obviously, you're probably seeing it ramp up as more and more people hear about it. But even this post that was just posted a couple days ago, 64 likes, 56 comments, 12 shares, really a lot of great organic reach happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you see the same people commenting, or are new people seeming to get involved with this?
Yeah, I would say it's been a really good variety, and we're trying to do our best in mixing up the businesses so that we're going to capture the attention of pretty much everybody, right? Not put all the restaurants in one week, or not putting all the, you know, I don't know, like gift shops in at one week. And I have actually, it's been surprising to see how many different people are commenting. I'm not seeing a lot of repetition at all. And it's just been amazing to see. I mean, just reading through the comments, you know, is so inspiring and just so uplifting, I think, for a lot of the business owners and everyone in the community. And, you know, a lot of these businesses aren't super active on social media alone. So it's just a way of us to help push that message out and, you know, just connect them with people who, you know, are looking to, you know, get some framing done or what have you. Oh gosh, I have time on my hands, and I can actually take care of that now. So it's been a really good reminder for folks.
Yeah, it's great that you were able to get kind of a nice variety of businesses each week. So it's not just restaurants, it's not just retailers, but you've got, you know, service businesses, just all different types. Is there a way you chose the businesses that you wanted to highlight, or did they have to come to you and, you know, say that they were interested? How do you pick who you're going to highlight?
Yeah, so to be honest, that's been the hardest part, is the recruiting, believe it or not. We sent out a couple of emails that have been, you know, sent out to the entire district, and as well as our neighboring businesses that aren't necessarily members. And explaining the program and saying, you know, this doesn't cost anything to you. We're going to buy a $50 gift certificate from you, and then the person who wins it will get put in touch with you, right? So we're trying to make it as easy as possible. The first time that we sent out the email, I think we got 10 responses from businesses that wanted to take part. And then we sent out another email, and I think we got 4. So now, believe it or not, our biggest challenge is getting businesses that are wanting to take part in this. So now we're going to be going, you know, and it's been first come, first serve, but also kind of making people realize that, you know, we're doing our best to kind of keep it a good variety in there. But yeah, so that's going to be the interesting part. We're now going to have to reach out kind of one-on-one basis, which isn't the worst thing in the world at this point anyway, to the people who haven't responded, but we think that would be a good fit to feature.
And how do you decide who wins? So you give away one $50 gift card per week,
Yeah.
but it looks like you've got a ton of entries here.
Yep. I'm going to blame Jackie. She's going through all of the feed, and she's picking the best one that is representative of kind of today, like how a business is operating, you know, today. And if you go to when we announce the winners, I don't know if you have that up. But what we do when we announce the winners is we put the quote of, and obviously the graphics portion is falling on me because that's my strong suit. Wow, we've got lots of posts. This is awesome.
Yeah, you guys have been busy on social media. It seems like multiple posts a day, which is great. I mean, you've got a lot of different things you need to highlight.
Yeah.
see if I
Great.
can find one of
Sorry.
would
So
it
when
be
we
from
announce
last
the winners,
Friday?
huh?
It would be from last Friday, or?
Yeah, winners are announced on Friday.
Okay.
So sorry to make you scroll like that. But what we do is we just put the quote of the winner in there above, like on top of, we overlay it on top of the original photo. There we go.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
So yeah, so it's kind of a secondary way to push the messaging out.
Okay, so you actually you do 6 gift cards per week.
6 $50 on to each business.
Okay, great.
And I'm sorry for not clarifying that.
Yeah, no, that makes a whole lot of sense. So you pick one comment from each business to win the gift card. Great, I love to see it. So you're able to get money into these businesses by purchasing the gift cards, but also help promote them at the same time and just make people aware of what they're doing, if they're still open, how they can support them, even if they don't win. Ways that they can do that. And it looks like the Multnomah Village website also has a page where you can go and figure out who's open and
right. That was the first step to this whole process. Is things were changing by the minute in the beginning, and I wanted to get a way for shop owners and restaurant owners to be able to stay top of mind and also meet the needs of the community, right? And so I didn't have the bandwidth to take an email and translate it onto a website. So I created a Google form and shared it with the entire group and said, hey, if you have any online or takeout services that you're offering right now, here's the link to the form. You can, fill it out. They have access to be able to edit it as much as they want. So obviously things when they were changing daily and still are changing, they can go in and they're empowered to make their own changes. It doesn't have to go through the association. We've opened that up entirely to Multnomah Village and Hillsdale because we are so close proximity wise. And that's on our website as well. I love Liz's idea about putting a badge. I'm gonna steal that. Sorry. Get more exposure.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, we're collaborating here, so I love it.
Yeah. And I like your SOS idea.
Mine.
Do you guys pay for the gift cards, Erin? Is that something that the business association pays for? Like that comes out of your funds and that's how you put it back into the business district?
Am I allowed to talk about this, Jacob?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was actually going to lead with this, but I didn't want to be weird, but we're so grateful. We are lucky enough to be one of the grant recipients.
Understood.
From Venture Portland. So thank you, Venture Portland, for making this possible. Our association, we try to run in the black as much as possible, but we're not super flush with cash at any given point. So it was super helpful for us to be able to give a boost to the community in the district from Venture Portland. So that
makes sense. That makes sense. We just, for us too, we try to be pretty lean, but recently we got like a large donation from somebody. So I was trying to figure out ways to use that donation to put it back into the district. Yeah. And I knew just putting out funds in the district wasn't going to work because everyone would get like $10 by the time I got it all distributed. So I'm like, how can Calvin and I have been brainstorming, how do we put it back in the district, marketing. But I love this idea of like putting actual dollars into the stores. I think that's
right. And most times when you have a $50 gift certificate or a $50 gift card, most people are going to spend more than that 50, right? It's a starting point for a lot of folks. So we feel like it's been really successful so far, and we're excited to see where it goes.
Great. Well, keep up the good work. It looks like it's a great campaign, and I'm sure that your efforts are appreciated by your neighborhood businesses, because not only are they battling the pandemic, but they're also battling road work, right? So
we have a big construction project. Although the city of Portland was so great about I was trying to get them moved up because they were supposed to start a little bit later, and I was like, can we just do this now while we're already shut down and get this over with? But our construction is going to be due or completed hopefully by the end of May at latest.
Great. Well, never let a good crisis go to waste, right?
Right?
People
pandemic, never a better time.
It's a good time. It's a good time to do that.
Right.
So before we open up the floor for questions, I did want to mention a couple other things that are happening in districts, and also some resources for districts that are thinking about doing something like this. Liz, your mention of getting this donation reminded me of some potential partnerships that districts can do. And I know that the Foster District, who also received one of the district resilience grants, they are doing a partnership with their neighborhood association. So I know we've got Jeff here. Jeff is the organizer for Foster. Jeff, you want to talk a little bit about what Foster is doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
So much like they're doing in Multnomah Village, we use some of that grant money that we got from Venture Portland. Many thanks. And we're trying to put that money back into the pockets of the business owners. So we too are buying gift cards. We're still establishing a list of businesses that want to participate and are able to sell us gift cards. But we're guessing we'll probably have about 40 businesses for a total of $50 per business. What we're going to do with those gift cards then is sort of wrap it into this variation of an event we typically do. We might have to cancel it this year, called the Foster Tasting Tour. And we're going to do something, a take on it called the Foster Takeout Tour. So similar idea where people that are supporting local businesses will be eligible to earn a prize. So in this case, they get takeout pizza, or, get a game delivered from the game store. They're doing personalized deliveries, and you tag a photo on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. And then we use those gift cards that we've bought from the businesses and give them out as prizes. So in addition to the $50 we're giving them, we're hoping that it turns into businesses getting support from the community as well. But we also have a pretty strong relationship with the Foster Pal Neighborhood Association, and they recently approved $2,000 in their budget to actually give back to the business community too. So we're partnering with them on this sort of joint campaign. They're actually going to buy gift cards and raffle them off. And so we're going to do a bit of a cross promotion. While they're doing a raffle, they're hoping to raise enough revenue to keep this gift card buying program going. And we're hoping between the two ventures, it'll build enough momentum and get people really into supporting local businesses that, maybe it helps move the needle a tiny bit until, we get more solid ground.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think neighborhood associations, they don't have a ton of income, but a lot of their income is reserved for these big public events that they do. And, if those events can't happen, they might be a good resource to partner with, doing something that supports, some of the businesses in the neighborhood. Yeah, Liz.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that there is a group called the Optimist Club in our neighborhood, and they do the Christmas tree sales every year, and they make a ton of money from that. And normally they give their money to support school sports, but this year they came to us and they said, wow, we really want to help support the business district. So they took $10,000 and they did the same thing. They bought gift certificates from a group of stores that they're going to later use in their own auctions or do something like that. And so it was a really cool partnership and a great way for them to say, yeah, school sports aren't happening right now. Let us try and support the business district. They're about to do a second round, and I think their second round is going to be nonprofits, which is, they're also part of our business district and offer a lot of things like classes and all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat to see the community sort of rally together jointly to support the businesses.
Absolutely.
That's great. Yeah, that's very generous of them, and it's not only good to get the revenue to do something positive with, but also they can help spread the word, because you all have different email lists and social media followers. So the more you can kind of get the word out about that, the more successful it will be. So that's super great. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, of course.
So a couple other things that have kind of come up over the past couple of weeks that you might want to think about doing for your businesses. Willamette Week just started a Adopt a Business program where people can sponsor their favorite businesses ads on their website, social media. They're still doing a paper copy as well. So sharing that with your followers to see if anybody might be interested with that. PDX Pipeline is actually doing free promotion for businesses, for small local businesses on their website. They're a website that does a lot of events, and obviously those aren't happening right now. So they've generously offered to offer those services for free. And then just announced today, Pamplin Media is doing a matching grants program for their ad sales. So any ads that you buy, they will match 1-to-1 as far as the cost. So basically you're getting either twice the amount of time or twice the size or whatever it is available. You probably have heard about this other one. Our Venture Portland is actually doing a citywide campaign, very similar to St. John's and Multnomah Village, called Support Small PDX and I Am a Small Business. So 2 different campaigns happening right now where people take pictures of themselves or of products that they buy, any way they're safely supporting local businesses. Use the hashtag Support Small PDX and tag Venture Portland. And each week we give away $25 gift cards to a couple of the entries. So really trying to keep that going, incentivizing people to support local businesses. So if you're currently not doing something or you can't do something, that's a good option to encourage people to participate in your district. Anyone is eligible. So check out our website for more information on that, or our Instagram page at Adventure Portland. Finally, we've got Mother's Day coming up. So with Mother's Day, a lot of good opportunities to start promoting ideas for people to purchase gifts to celebrate the holiday, whether it's the florists in your district, clothing, jewelry, candy, sweets, whatever your typical gift would be for the holiday. This is a great chance to send out an email newsletter that highlights all the businesses in the district that are open and providing those goods and services. Even if it's a gift certificate for a massage, if mom can't use it right now, she'll certainly need it when this is all over. So just get creative with it. And as a business association, you could even think about putting together a basket of items to raffle off to generate more revenue that you can then again, infuse back into the district. So that's a great thing to keep in mind. And that's only one of the very many things that you can kind of tie your marketing to. So Venture Portland is going to start doing a weekly email where we highlight types of businesses that are relevant to whatever is going on, whether it be Mother's Day or, next month is National Bike Month, or it could be Oregon Wine Month, or it could be, National Pet Week. Next month is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. So if you have any businesses in your district that are owned by people of color, it would be great to highlight them as well. So really tying it into the local and national zeitgeist is a great strategy as well. Okay, so wanted to give everybody who's here an opportunity to ask our panelists questions, ask me questions, ask each other questions, share the great stuff that you're doing, because I really think, everything that everybody's mentioned is great. Some things work better in different districts. So I'm curious to hear what you think, what you're working on, and what you need help with.
So Jacob, this is Julie from the Pearl. I just typed this out, but we actually started hosting Zoom sessions for all of our members. And they can come in and watch them, but we're actually creating a private YouTube channel where we'll post the videos of those. So we had one of our members who does physical therapy and mental resiliency taught a session on mental resiliency and ways to kind of get yourself out of the stuck, frozen time we all get into. We had one of our members who owns an exercise studio do a free 30-minute exercise class one morning. We had another member he's a massage therapist. He can't be in business right now, but he did some tips and tricks for ways to get through without being too tight when you get back to your massage therapist. So we've recorded those sessions, and I'm in the process of creating a private YouTube channel. And then we'll send the link out to the members so they can go watch them at any point to get those tips and tricks. And it's a way to highlight the members to each other, because sometimes that's honestly been our best marketing, is member to member. And then the members are the concierges to the district. So that's one thing we've been doing, and it's been pretty darn fun.
Yeah, that's great. And Zoom makes it super easy. You can automatically record your Zoom meetings. The quality is really good. Push it out to YouTube, and then that gives you some great content to promote on your social media channels, and really reach people in a different way, and really give some love to some of those service businesses. Those are the businesses that aren't really able to, beyond gift certificates. They're not really able to operate as they normally would. So coming up with creative ways for them to share what they're doing. I know there was a hair salon that was doing videos about how to cut your bangs, or just these quick little snippets on, like, we love to cut your hair when we can again, but so you're not looking shaggy for these Zoom calls. Here's how you can do a little bit of maintenance until you can come back and see us again. So really just staying at the forefront of everybody's mind. I think it's a great strategy for businesses to do right now. Anybody else want to share what they're doing, or any ideas that they might have that they want to workshop? Yeah, Liz.
Well, it's not anything I wanted to workshop. I just wanted to tell you that our local movie theater did this really clever thing where they're doing kind of like a date night, movie night thing. So they're not offering a movie. You watch your movie at home, but you can get popcorn, candy, sodas, and you pick it up and you take it home and you have movie night at home. And I thought that was so smart, because I thought, well, movie theater, they're not going to be able to do anything. And then they came up with that, and it's been super popular.
That's a great idea. And there's nothing like movie theater popcorn.
Pizza, right? I saw that you could, they even have pizza.
And pizza,
so it's like, perfect. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Yeah, I love to see that kind of creativity. Theaters have been hit super hard. Any sort of performance art, anything like that, they've got no way of generating income. So when you see them, using what little they've got, it's something that you want to support and you want to share. So that's great. Love the St. John Cinema.
Like Portland Center Stage is doing, dancing for the stage classes. So Zoom classes that teach you different stage dances. So things that have been in the plays. So, I mean, it's just a fun way to stay relevant, stay in people's minds. For those of you that are Shakespeare fans, it's not anything to do with Portland, but I go to this festival every year in Canada. They've had to cancel the whole season at this point, but they've been filming these great movies of their Shakespeare productions for the last 5-6 years. And they're releasing one a week for 12 weeks with a viewing party and interviews with the actors and the directors. And so it's fun to see what arts projects are doing and the ways we can support them and just show up for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great to see. And the Pearl, you've got a couple of different venues there. So it's great that you can help to kind of spread the word on the great things that they're doing. Looks like Nancy says Clinton Street Theater also has a great newsletter and movie purchase opportunities. So great to see a indie theater like that getting creative with the tough times that they've all been having to deal with.
Von Eber Brewing has been doing beer deliveries. They got permission to do that. So they've been delivering, but they're also doing specials like BOGO on pizza, and then they have BOGO Wing Wednesdays. So they're just doing things. In fact, the first week it was so popular, they sold out before 5 on the wings.
Are your districts doing anything? Takeout Tuesdays have really become a popular thing. Are your districts doing a weekly newsletter or social media posts highlighting various businesses offering takeout? Or
Yeah, We did one this week. We started it this Tuesday, and we just highlighted our list, like encouraging people to go back to the website and go to that list and see who's available. So it's just another way of highlighting the list that isn't just flat, like, go look at our list. It's like, oh, it's Takeout Tuesday. You know, where are you getting Tuesday? And then encouraging people to post their own photos of takeout and hashtag Takeout Tuesday so that we can see them too. So it's not just us posting, encouraging other people to use their own social media to get the word out.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that has been catching on. People, they sometimes need an excuse to do something like that. So designating a specific day, it seems to have been very, very successful. And that's why I think that all those national days have become a thing, because, if it's National Pizza Day, odds are you're going to go get a slice of pizza. So, calling that stuff out, I think, is really encouraging for folks. It just gives them something to do and gives them an idea. There's so many options in the city for different businesses that you can support. So if you can tie it to something like that, it's always effective.
I also like when the restaurants are doing like a pay it forward thing, if they're able to and can afford to do that. Like we have a pizza parlor that does, if you buy a slice of pizza on a certain day, they give a slice of pizza to somebody who might have food insecurity or something like that. So you're not only doing something good for that business and yourself, you're giving something back to the community at the same time. So it's like, oh my gosh, why, you can't not do it.
Yeah. Any sort of charitable promotion is great. I mean, it's just a great thing to do, but also people respond to it really well. Toro Bravo has been getting a ton of press for their Pay It Forward program. They were panelists on a discussion we did last week, and they told us all about the great work that they've been doing, helping to feed Portlanders in need, or anybody really.
I was just going to tell you about them, but also about Botanist Bar. Well, Botanist House is what they're going by right now. They're a bar that's on Northwest Lovejoy and the Pearl, and they're not open for any takeout of their own, but they're providing 1,000 meals a day to people who've had to close their business or who are in the food industry. They've hired 20 additional people, and they're taking donations to help keep the activity going. But so they've been doing that now, and they actually partnered with an electric car company to reduce fuel costs so they could limit the amount of costs going into the program. But they are actually not taking any money in for themselves and only sending money out for this program. So it's been pretty impressive. So I've been sharing that out for sure.
I wanted to ask you guys if anybody has had any luck. We were going to try the virtual tip jar campaign, where you post restaurants or stores tip jar information, which is basically like a Venmo link. And then every time people have something from that place or feel like they would want to put a tip in the tip jar. We saw Kenton was doing it. We thought it was cool. I put it on our group page and didn't get much response, but I didn't know if anybody else had tried that.
Virtual tip jar. That's a great idea. I know there's a website out there where you can donate to specific people in the service industry. Any businesses in particular that people know about that are doing it just for themselves?
I don't. How is it in Kent? I saw it in Kenton on their social media. Deborah, do you know how that's?
I don't much with Kenton because I haven't been working with them lately. I know Belmont, we were talking about possibly doing this as part of like some sort of online street fair or something that, because we're trying to brainstorm and think about how to replace some of these events that we have in the districts. And so we thought about maybe correlating it with an event kind of deal and doing like a just straight donation kind of button on their website or something like that, so that people who wanted to support could still support them in that way. But I hadn't thought about calling it like a tip jar type of deal, but we have talked about maybe soliciting just donations for the association.
Talking about replacing events, we're doing our first virtual First Thursday attempt on Thursday next week. So we're actually working with the Urban Art Network who do.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. But,
yeah, it's a big undertaking.
we're working with the Urban Art Network. It'll be about an hour long, so we're trying a minor one for May. But getting 6 to 10 artists and do like 5 minutes each where they can showcase their wares like you're strolling down 13th browsing. Just trying to remind people of the fun and kind of what they have to look forward to when we're allowed to not be so distant anymore.
Julie, have you checked out what Alberta Main Street is doing for last Thursday? They have kind of something similar that I would check out some of their social media stuff and everything, because they're putting together kind of a virtual last Thursday.
Okay.
And it had some interesting
today?
ideas. I would check it. I think I just saw some of it start to pop up like yesterday or this week. So I don't know if they're launching it like if they're doing this month or if they're pre-promoting for next month's last Thursday.
Okay.
But it looks pretty interesting and kind of a whole virtual, like go look at murals and go look at pieces in these places. And so it kind of incorporated some of the public art that people could walk around and see, and some stuff like I think the Alberta Gallery Co-op and stuff, we're going to do things like pushing things closer to the windows and stuff, so that then you could still walk by the location and see things through the windows.
Okay.
Kind of
That
deal.
might be fun for our June one.
Yeah, there's some interesting ideas you might be able to grab from that.
Thank you.
I love the idea of a virtual street fair. Yeah, as the weather gets warmer, I think people are going to start missing those types of events. So thinking about ways we can do those via Zoom, I think it's going to be interesting to see what people come up with. Because it's a great way to showcase, especially if you've got art in your district. I wanted to also just give a quick shout out to Hawthorne Boulevard. They've been doing this. Can't really see it. Let me turn off my background. Let's see here.
Yeah, yesterday when I have a green water glass. When I took a sip of my green water glass, I was drinking out of the river instead of my glass. Yeah.
This is a ad that they've been doing in Willamette Week every week. This week is around Mother's Day. So typically the ad just tells people what businesses are open and, how they're open. But this one they specifically structured around reminder, time to get your Mother's Day gifts. So this will run all week, both on their hard copies, which I don't know how many people are picking up hard copies of papers. I still pick it up just because I like the crossword puzzle, but on their website and social media as well. So just a good example of highlighting, giving people more of a reason to spend money. With holidays and whatnot. So we just got a couple minutes left. Is there anything anybody else wanted to share or questions? Okay, well.
I would like to congratulate Joy. I don't know if there's been meetings that I haven't been part of, but I would like to congratulate Joy for getting promoted to Executive Director of Venture Portland. She's a great fit.
That's very nice. Yeah, she was on the call. I think she got dropped just due to connectivity issues, but I'll share the congrats with her. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah. I had just a really quick thing.
Yeah.
Julie, I haven't met you, but I'm Tina, and I run the Stadium District Business Association, which borders the Pearl, Nob Hill, and Goose Hollow. And my office, though, is actually, I work at Sotheby's, and it's right next to Star Pizza and Mia Sushi. And even though we've been closed, I've been in my office a little bit, and I wanted to let you know, I don't know if they're members yet, because Star has gone through some changes and whatnot, but they are doing it looks like a pretty vigorous takeout, but they're desperately in need, and I'm desperately in need of keeping that place open, because that's like a once a weeker for me. But also Mio was open too. And with regards to your virtual First Thursday, Sotheby's used to participate pretty actively, even though we're on Hoyt. So I wonder if I can get a hold of you. Maybe I'll go through Jacob separately offline to see if there's a way, because we have art in our offices for that purpose. If there's a way we can help participate in the virtual situation.
I just
Good
put my
idea.
email in the chat. Yeah, what I'm thinking of is we're partnering with Urban Art Network, who is a member, but they're the ones who do the street fair for this May one. It was supposed to be their 20th anniversary of doing art in the street. But my thought was for June, I was going to reach out and see if our members who do First Thursday, like Frame Central and you all and the galleries, and see if any of them wanted to do the virtual First Thursday for June and kind of go through and figure out a way to do it.
Yeah, I can't comment for our company, but
Yeah.
but I can definitely ask.
Great. I mean, because I figured I'd see how this one went, and then we'd figure out a plan for June. So wonderful.
Awesome. Well, I think we are at time. So thank you all for coming, and be on the lookout for all these great promotions that are happening. If you haven't done something for your district already, think about doing what you can with what you've got. And also go to our website, ventureportland.org. We have a whole page of resources, both for businesses and business associations. So check that out, and please participate in our Support Small PDX campaign, which will run for the next 3 weeks. It's a great way to, free of charge, incentivize people to support your members. So thank you, everyone, and take care and stay healthy.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks. Good to see everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
You guys.